All right, what's going on, guys? Bear with me, I did not sleep much. Stayed up pretty late watching the election stuff. So gonna be a little bit of a groggy morning stream. Like the markets are reacting strongly to Trump very likely winning this election. Um, but we will not have a winner probably for some time. Going to be a shit show. Excuse me. So looking at the election map currently, if so he just lost Michigan. That's not good. So I was gonna say with the election map currently, he will win. But if he loses Wisconsin and Michigan, Trump loses. So let me actually pull this up. I'll show you guys. Their site is like crashing. It's not even letting me click it. What's going on? Okay, so this is what it was last night when I went to bed. So as of right now, he's losing Michigan, which you can see it barely gives Biden the victory. So if he loses both Wisconsin and Michigan, he loses. But he will not accept this. There's no chance that he accepts a loss in Michigan and Wisconsin by like 20,000 votes. He's gonna declare a recount. They're gonna talk. They're gonna send it to the Supreme Court. It's gonna be a long, ridiculous process. So hopefully this does not happen. If Biden wins, he will have to win by a decent margin in Pennsylvania, and then Trump will basically have to accept it. But if he wins by, like, look at this, 3,000 votes in Michigan and then 21,000 votes in Wisconsin, there is zero chance that Trump will accept that. So the only way Biden wins and actually wins, like officially, is if he takes all three of these, including Pennsylvania. Then there's no chance you can call for a recount. You just lose. Um, but if Trump wins North Carolina, which is pretty much obvious he's going to, if he wins Georgia, which is also pretty obvious, and if he wins Pennsylvania, which so far is pretty obvious, Alaska, obviously Trump, Hawaii, Biden, Nevada, Biden, um, Wisconsin, we can give Wisconsin to Biden, and then Trump will still win if he gets Michigan. But same thing for Biden's side. If Biden loses by just Michigan or Wisconsin, he will not accept this. So either way, if these two states decide the presidency, um, neither side is going to accept it. So just understand that, and it's going to go into a long process of litigation. It's gonna be a nightmare. Um, Arizona was also a battle state, which surprisingly Biden is winning by 100,000. Um, they said they're not, or no, that wasn't Arizona. So Arizona still has a few votes to count. Very unlikely that Trump will win that. Nevada was actually pretty close. He's only losing by 8,000. But they said they're not going to continue counting until Thursday, which is extremely sketchy. So we'll have to come back to this probably later today to see what's going on. I think with Biden taking the lead in both Wisconsin and Michigan, we're going to start to see a sell off today. So basically, you could see what the chart did yesterday. Trump started winning Florida. I think it was around here, or was it this? No, I think it was this one. Yeah, so Trump started winning Florida and Georgia and North Carolina, and the chart literally went vertical. The betting odds were extremely biased against Trump, and when he started winning basically every state that was remaining, the betting odds were minus 700, I believe, in his favor, so extremely high. So once the betting odds got up to minus 700 for Trump, the markets were basically vertical. And then it came in that they basically just stopped counting, and they didn't give him North Carolina, they didn't give him Georgia. Which one was it? I think he started losing Arizona. Once he started losing Arizona, the chart started nuking. ES started nuking. Then once he basically mathematically he's going to win Georgia and North Carolina. You can almost I honestly don't know why they haven't given him to Trump. It's kind of ridiculous. But mathematically you can almost guarantee he wins Georgia and North Carolina because there's only a small portion of the votes left, and Biden would have to win a large majority of those remaining votes for him to catch up in North Carolina and Georgia. So, as I said, I don't know why they're not giving them to Trump. They don't want it to look like he's winning. But you can guarantee these two. So, if we look at the map, we give him Georgia, we give him North Carolina. I know you guys are probably like, what the fuck am I talking about? This is very important, guys. If you're doing technical analysis right now, you're not doing what you should be. You need to be doing political analysis, I guess you would call it, because the stock market is going to determine what the market or the election map is going to determine what the stock market does. Market is pumping because of Biden. That's not accurate. Not accurate. You can literally look at a chart and see how ES reacted to what was happening in the election. The market does not like Biden. This is when Trump took the lead in Florida. It shot up. When Trump started losing Arizona, it shot down. When Trump started leading in every other state, it shot up. Now Biden is leading in Wisconsin and Michigan. Look at what the market's doing. The market is not liking Biden. There is no chance. This would have to be the most ridiculous coincidence you would ever see if this didn't show you that the market liked Trump. You guys think I'm saying that because I'm biased. It's just factually accurate. If you guys look at these timestamps and compare them to the election, it is factually accurate that the market is pumping for Trump and dumping for Biden. There is no denying it at this point. But look at this. So 30,000 votes is deciding Wisconsin, which is funny. If we click on these, the third party, Joe Jorgensen, however the hell you say that, she is literally deciding this election. She is deciding this election in both of these states. 38,000 votes. If these votes went to either Trump or Biden, they decide the election. Same thing in Michigan. 56,000 votes. Biden's only up by 8,000. She is literally deciding this election in both of these states. If you guys look at my chart that I posted on Twitter, I made a prediction for the presidency. It was 100% accurate when I went to bed yesterday. I gave Trump Wisconsin and Michigan. I also gave him Arizona. So the only one that I'm wrong on so far is Arizona. These two are still battling. So we could give these as a toss-up. And these two are literally deciding the election. So keep an eye on that. Hey, Ella, what's going on? Newen, you said, how about alternative energy stocks, ETFs? So if you're looking at alternative energy, you would be looking at like FSLR, Sunrun, Plug. Those are like EV companies, alternative energy companies. You've got TAN, TAN. TAN is a solar ETF. How are like Sunrun and those other companies doing? So these companies look like or that was actually at the close, sorry. So at the close, what are they doing pre-market? Pre-market, they're climbing a little bit, but from the close, they've dropped. So it looks like they're pricing in Trump winning. The thing with the market right now, guys, with the presidency, the biggest industries you have to keep an eye on are oil, natural gas, like fracking and stuff like that, solar, so like the energy sector, right? And then like gun stocks, war stocks. So typically, gun stocks, they do good no matter what, but they do sometimes see a very big bonus if a Democrat is elected, because people think that the Democrats are going to take their guns, they go out and buy guns, and it raises the stock price basically, because their earnings go up, right? So gun stocks typically do good no matter what, but they get a little bit of a bonus on Democrats. Solar and like alternative energy typically do better on Democrats. Oil and war stocks, so like energy and war stocks, they typically do better on Republicans. Um, what else? I think I covered pretty much all the main ones. But yeah, so mainly energy you want to keep an eye on. So if you want to watch the sectors as a whole, you've got XLE. XLE is the energy sector. You can look at like CL, which is the crude oil futures. You can keep an eye on crude oil. Crude oil is global, so it's not going to be greatly impacted. You still have all these different countries that impact oil. You have TAN, which is going to be the solar ETF. You have SWBI, which is going to be Smith and Wesson if you guys want to trade gun stocks. I'm actually trading Smith and Wesson. I think this chart looks really good, so I took a little bit of a medium risk kind of bullish play here. What else? We have Plug. Plug is a kind of an EV company. So Plug, they make batteries. I think they make batteries for solar cells as well. So Plug, you've got Neo, which is kind of not in the same ballpark because you are a Chinese company. That's actually a good point. That's another one. Are Chinese companies. Chinese companies should benefit if Biden wins, because Trump and Biden could not be more polar opposite on China. So if Biden wins, China stocks should see a boost. They should do well. If Trump wins, China stocks will probably not do very, very well. The the problem is Trump has put in a bunch of like taxes, tariffs, whatever you want to look at, all these different regulations, policies that negatively impact China, positively impact the U.S. If Biden gets elected, it doesn't immediately say China stocks are going to do well. What has to happen is Biden has to lift those taxes, or those import taxes, export taxes, etc. He has to lift those regulations from China to boost their stocks, right? So it's not immediate, right? It's just kind of speculation. But if he starts lifting regulation from China, they should do better. But they're Chinese companies, so you have to understand that what America does is not the number one influencer of Chinese companies. China is the number one influencer of their companies. So just understand that. It's going to be a wild ride. That is the only guarantee. Biden is leading 30,000 in Wisconsin. He's leading 8,000 or sorry, 10,000 in Michigan. He's leading by 8,000 in Nevada. So Nevada is actually kind of weird, because Nevada should be very blue. Right now, it's kind of a battle. So if you guys are wondering, like, how does Trump win? Trump needs Pennsylvania and Michigan, and he wins. He does not need Wisconsin. You can give Wisconsin to Biden. You can also give him Arizona and Nevada, and Biden still loses. If Trump loses Michigan but wins Wisconsin, he still wins. So he needs Pennsylvania and either Wisconsin or Michigan. He does not need both of them. But if he wins both, he clearly wins. He loses both. He loses. Yeah. So Biden needs both Wisconsin and Michigan. Trump does not. Trump only needs one of them, if that makes sense. The easiest way to look at this is Trump has to win Pennsylvania. If he loses Pennsylvania, you can immediately call the election. It's over. Once he wins Pennsylvania, he just needs one remaining state, and then the election's over. So that's all you have to really think about. If you guys are still watching the election, like what the fuck is going on, that's all you need to remember. Pennsylvania, Trump has to win, and he has to win Wisconsin or Michigan. That is if you give him North Carolina and Georgia. What are the other remaining states? And Pennsylvania. But like I said, it's pretty laughable that they have not called these states. They called the blue states with 0% reporting. Literally no votes were counted, and they called some blue states. But as soon as North Carolina and Georgia started showing that Trump was winning, they didn't call them. Very, very biased. This little support here that I had drawn out held beautifully. This could be an inverse head and shoulders, but as you guys know, inverse head and shoulders are bottoming patterns. They're not continuation patterns. But if you did look at this, it does look like an inverse head and shoulders breaking out. I think the market is going to be very, very choppy today. So I would not pick a clear direction if you guys are like looking for trades. Until, I mean, honestly, today you're probably not going to get anything. I was going to say until they call these states, but you might not even get anything today. If they call Georgia, call North Carolina for Trump, and the only 3 states remaining are Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, I think you can make a good bet that Trump is going to win. And like 345 SPY is very likely. I called out 345 SPY in Discord yesterday. I might have called it out on stream. I can't remember. But I definitely called it out on Discord. JMA actually took that trade. He's going to be up massively when this bell rings. I did not take that trade. I've already got a lot of exposure, so I didn't need that trade. I should have taken it. It would have been nice. But I called out the 345 lotto that expires on Friday. Those are going to be up massively when this bell rings. So if you guys are in Discord, if you guys took that trade, you guys are looking really good. You guys want to take a look at anything before the morning bell? We got about 10 minutes left. So funny enough, I told you guys to keep an eye on XLE and Plug, right? And Chinese companies. Take a look at my call scanner here. Let me pull my scanner up. XLE, we have number 1 on the call scanner on Friday. That's the energy sector. Plug is number 3 on the call scanner. Li Automotive, Chinese company. Not getting a lot of calls, but still on the call scanner. So people are betting on the energy sector. Most of these are calls. People are betting on Plug too. What's your Discord? If you go to oasistrading.io, that's our website. You can check out our website. We actually have a 30% off sale going on right now for our Discord for the month of November. We're opening up 10 slots for November, and we are doing a Black Friday sale. So if you use the code Black Friday in all caps, you'll get 30% off. But you can take a look at our Discord right on our website, oasistrading.io. Grow Up, you said a lot of false moves today. Oh yeah, today's going to be ridiculous, man. Like I said, guys, if you guys are not in any trades, I would not be picking a direction today. Today is not the day. The only way that you could pick a direction today, I think, is if they call Georgia and North Carolina for Trump. He continues to lead in Pennsylvania. They have not. They've stopped counting in Pennsylvania. So they've stopped counting in North Carolina. They've stopped counting in Georgia, and they stopped counting in Pennsylvania. I don't know why. It's quite ridiculous. I don't know why. But I went to bed, and these numbers have not changed since like 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. This was 64. This was 94. This was 94. They have not. They have not started counting for today. So not sure. But if they call Georgia and North Carolina, you can, if you want to be a betting man and put your money on it, I think you can put your money on Trump, even if he is losing these two states. Because the thing is, guys, if he loses Wisconsin and Michigan, he does lose the election by 1 point. He will not accept this. They will call for a recount, and it will go into litigation. It will go into the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, as you guys know, is heavily conservative now because he just put two conservatives on the court. So if we had to guess, if we had to make a bet, who is the Supreme Court going to give it to if it goes into the Supreme Court? It's going to be Trump. So I think if he wins Georgia, wins North Carolina, wins Pennsylvania, you can make a bet that he's going to win the election. He also has the power of being the sitting president. If Biden was the sitting president in this case, you could make a bet that Biden would win. The problem is Trump is the sitting president. He has all the power. That's just the way it works. As I said, you guys might think I'm biased. I'm trying to give you the facts as they sit. I'm not skewing the facts in any way. Everything I'm telling you, you guys can look up on your own. Is this MACD oscillator on downside you put on your chart? So this is the Momo. It looks a lot like the MACD. This is a proprietary indicator. I created this back in 2018. The formula does not use any of the same math or any of the same formula as the MACD. They look similar though because they're both based on price action. They both have similar ideologies. So the MACD, you're looking at a short-term price action and a long-term price action and how they compare to each other. That is the same idea that I used for the Momo. It's looking at short-term price action and long-term price action and how they compare to each other. So it uses the same mindset as a MACD, just a completely different formula. Yeah, exactly, man. He's not going to give up. So the only way Trump has to give up, like they cannot go into litigation, is if he loses Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Because like if we do this, there's no question who won the election. I don't think Trump will even be allowed to argue this. But the reason Trump is arguing it is because if you give him Pennsylvania, look at how close this election is. And this is just by electoral votes. Look at how close we are electorally. If we click on these states, look at how close this is. 18,000 and 21,000. He will not accept that. He will not accept losing the election by 40,000 votes. Neither will Biden. So the only way Biden cannot argue is if Trump wins Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Biden cannot argue the fact. Same thing goes for Biden. If he wins all three of these, Trump cannot argue the fact. There is no question who won this election. There's only question if you give Trump Pennsylvania. I think Trump is going to win in Michigan, but we still have some votes coming in. I think you can give Wisconsin to Biden. I don't think he's going to win Michigan. I think Trump wins Michigan. We'll see. So far, my map is like 48 out of 50. I'm pretty spot on. So this was my map. This is what I predicted. This is what it looks like currently. He's losing Arizona. He's losing Wisconsin. He is losing Michigan, but I think he's going to win Michigan. The thing is, with these like really close states, the battleground states, when they come down to like 20,000 votes, you can almost always give them to the sitting president. And that's basically what I did when I made my prediction. Is I gave most of the battleground states that were going to be super close. I just gave them to Trump because he's the sitting president, and the sitting president comes into the election with higher odds. I don't know why all of the polls and all of the media were giving Biden this massive chance of winning. I've been saying from the start, the sitting president always comes into the election with a higher chance of winning. You can look at it historically. If we're just doing pure analysis, no bias, he has about a 66 to 67% chance of winning just because he's the sitting president. Take everything else and throw it out the window. Just because he's the sitting president, he has a 2/3 chance of winning. Now we throw in, I know you guys are traders. You guys like numbers, right? So you want to hear some other crazy numbers. Ohio has chosen the correct president for 160 years, with 3 exceptions. So if you're a betting man or a woman, betting man or woman, if you see who Ohio votes for, who are you going to vote for? Who are you going to put your money on? They have chosen the correct president for 160 years, with only 3 exceptions. And every single one of those exceptions, they chose a Republican and a Democrat won. So this could be a 4th exception, where Ohio chooses Trump, but a Democrat wins. They have never chosen a Democrat and a Republican has won. A Republican has never, 0 times, has never won the presidency without winning Ohio. So take that for the rest of your lives moving forward. Whatever you see Ohio pick, you have a very, very good bet that that's who's going to win. Another good number, if you guys like these stats, there is a county, I can't remember the name of the county. There's a county in Indiana that has never been wrong. Well, I can't say never. They have not been wrong since like 1930 or some shit. Almost 100 years they have not been wrong. And they chose Trump on this election. So historically, if we're putting it all into the numbers, into the odds, he should have a very, very good chance of winning. But all right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream on that. Like I said, be really safe today, guys. The market's gonna be fucking crazy. It's gonna be absolutely crazy because there is no winner. We probably will not see a winner today. So don't take any massively directional trades. Don't put your money where your mouth is just yet. But all right, guys, I'm gonna head over to Discord. You guys have a good day. I'll see you guys for the next stream at 3 p.m. Eastern. See you later, guys. Peace.